Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Alright, let's start off by taking a look at our stress. We can pile on 15 more before we need to stop. Vertumnalia should be right after this, and that usually lowers our stress quite a bit, so we might be able to squeeze something in. Let's see. Sportsball is 10, defense training is 15. Let's play sportsball. It's sportsball day, organized by COM, a day devoted to sportsball and sportsball-related activities. There are races where you have to bounce a ball on your head or kick it through an obstacle course, and nut jumping, and even a dunk tank that Rhett and COM volunteer for. And of course, there's a sportsball game at the end. Antecedent brings all the kids from the creche, and the kitchen staff makes soy dogs right in the grill for everyone. Even Dis is here. COM must have done some hardcore convincing to get him to show up at all and actually join a sportsball game. He's on your team, and it's not going great. The flesh is there, but the spirit is clearly rebelling. That's Dis for you. Dis, get the ball, you skeezy weirdo, Mars yells, as the ball sails in his direction. Dis lets it soar over his head and makes an attempt at running for it, but when Nem gets there first for the opposing team, he just backs away. She crows in victory and fires it into your goal. Mars stomps over to Dis. You didn't even try, she berates him. Why are you even playing if you're not going to do your best? Dis just shrinks away from her, trying to disappear into his baggy clothing. Lay off of him. It's fine, Dis mumbles. I don't care about your stupid teams. I don't even want to be here. COM said it would count as school credit for physical and mental wellness. Ah, that explains things. All the more reason for Mars to have some compassion. Dis stalks off. You see him arguing with COM on the sidelines before COM, still dripping from the dunk tank, takes his place on your team. Resume play, he says, blowing his whistle. With COM on your side, you win the game easily. The day ends with a presentation of awards. Rhett and Antecedent present everyone with a participation ribbon. She with a big smile, and he with a barely contained grimace. Rhett pins your ribbon to your chest and addresses you and Mars. You did great out there. I love to see that kind of drive to succeed in our youth. You're both going to be great assets to the colony someday. Mars scoffs and flips her hair over her shoulder, but the security chief continues. If you like winning, you should come talk to me about joining the defense force when you're older. We could use strong people like you. Nearby, you see Antecedent frowning in disapproval. You, Cal, and Nem volunteer to clean up the sports equipment. While you're putting it away inside, you overhear Red and Anne in the middle of an argument. It was completely inappropriate, Antecedent says, sounding, well, more spirited than you've ever heard. You took their innocent fun and turned it into a military recruitment drive. You see it like that, Red retorts. But a lot of these sports ball kids, they're exactly the kind of people we want defending the colony. They're team players with dedication. They should know there's a place for them doing what they're good at. They can't play sports ball forever. I'm not a team player. Come on, Rhett. But they're only children once, Anne replies. The whole point of being here is to be different from Earth. No more school-to-military pipeline. These kids aren't doing high school football, hoping for scholarships so they don't have to join the military to go to college. Cal and Nem look at you in confusion. You don't know what they mean either. What's a college? It is interesting to know that what they were escaping from was very similar to what is currently going on Earth. Because the game takes place far into the future, it seems. Earth is already completely destroyed, the way they describe it, but socially things are pretty similar back on Earth. You put the rest of the equipment away in silence. It's always weird to hear adults arguing, especially council members like Rhett and Anne. Finally, Nem speaks up. Ugh, my mom is such a soggy blanket, she mutters. Chief Rhett's right. It's fine if he's just telling us we're good at stuff. She slams a bunch of hard plastic balls into the recycler. Who doesn't like being told they're good at stuff? Cal puts his armful of ropes and sacks into the recycler. No way, he says. Rhett shouldn't be trying to convince kids to join the defense force. It's not right. What do you think? Just because it's different than what we would have done last time, and we're closer with Anemone this time, or Nem. Tart's getting used to the fact that her name has changed. You agree with Nem. The colony isn't going to survive for very long if you don't have a defense force, so it makes sense that Rhett is planning for future recruitment. Cal scowls and crosses his arms, refusing to talk to either of you. How's our friendships doing in general? 21 with Tang, that's surprising. 26 with Anemone and 42 with Dis, okay. You finish cleaning the equipment room in silence. Cal and Nem barely look at one another and don't say goodbye when they leave. You're left with the feeling that something between them is changing forever, and you're helpless to stop it. It's interesting. This isn't really something I commented on when we saw it, but it's something I've been thinking about. So, in the, post-credits Where Are They Now segment that we got at the end of our first playthrough, with Cal being our best friend, we learned what happened to him later on, and they described his wife or his life partner, whatever she really was, as being similar to Anemone in the way she teased him, which struck me as odd because, from childhood, and even in some of the shippy fan art that I've kind of offhand seen, everything seems to really pair him with Tammy. And I know that Tammy died in our playthrough, but they were still best friends and clearly very aligned in a lot of their personality traits. So it's interesting that the game acts like, Anemone is kind of his soulmate in that kind of way, Alright, if we make this a flush, it's exactly the same, so might as well put the 2 card in. Oof. Bravery, toughness, and stress. There is an interesting dynamic going on between him and Anemone, but it's mostly antagonistic. Starting from here, and later on, Anemone goes on to join the defense forces, hooks up with Vase, and is very diametrically opposed to Cal and all he stands for. It's interesting that the game kind of framed them as, romantic in a way. It's weird. It's time for the 3rd annual Vertumnalia Festival. You gather with your family in the colony square. Everyone takes a seat as Governor Uticott approaches the stage. Yeah, Uticott's gonna say the same thing. Under 3 years, fresh water, good food, healthy children, and a strong community. Your friends, your parents, the other adults who have been the background radiation of your entire life, closest human beings around for light years, and they are all your family. The passing of our dear friend Chief Surveyor Melatonin. Known for his gentle nature and his curious spirit, Tonin is survived by his daughter Aspartame. In the crowd, Tammy sniffles loudly. In his place, we welcome our youngest council member ever, Utopia. The rest of the council stands. Uticott says, "Actually, Auntie Uticott, y'all mind if I just make a quick announcement? I just wanted to say thanks to y'all who are trusting me with this job. Uncle Tonin's left some big shoes to fill, and, well, I'm gonna give it my best. We're fixing to get to the bottom of what we're calling the shimmer. The sniffle folks have been getting during pollen. Until we do, please keep on wearing your mask when the pollen is thick, and let the doc know if you're under the weather. I have an in with Instance and Tang that can only really be solved if I go out to the Valley of Vertigo. Can I please go with you?" Thank you, Utopia, and thank you to the rest of the council. Games and feasting. Don't even watch. Vertumnalia games. You're not a kid anymore. Everyone has fun without you while you pick at the feast table. But we rest, and it's all good. After the festivities, you take some time off for a much-needed and very relaxing break. The slip and slide, you can feel your worries floating away. Nice. Alright, any collectibles? We probably have enough to buy one of those cakes. Always. Always with the cakes. Who would like the cakes? Can we give a cake to... I feel like the cakes must do something special. If they're always restocking every single year. Would Tammy like a cake, or would she not like that because she makes them herself? Oh, it's too soon to give her another gift. Solane, your clothes are full of holes. Bring me those pants tonight and I'll mend them right up for you. Okay. None of that. Oh yeah, I forgot. We can go to our dad with animals, I think. Yes, help him with the animals. Your dad is helping two bristle slugs who've gotten tangled on each other while... Well, maybe they were wrestling. Your dad doesn't want to go into the details. Oh, Solane, they were not wrestling. He hefts up the large one, and you carefully pull apart their bristling spikes, being careful not to get jabbed yourself. 10 minutes later, they're back at it again. Your dad shrugs. The heart wants what it wants, I guess. Okay. Where can we get pets? I know that Socks, who was Cal's pet dilly pillar, I guess if we had high enough animal skill, we could have kept her for ourselves or something. But, I don't know, since we haven't really gone through that quest line, maybe she's not available to us. The only other option I can think of is that, you know, by leaving, we can find a pet and bring one home. We might as well try it. We have some stress leeway. We can do some exploring. Nothing over this direction. Is there anything for us? Oh, an egg. I see an egg. Oh. Yay, an egg. We can give that to Nem. Oh, there's another egg over there. Some foreign land has spilled outside the walls. The fields don't look like they're doing very well. Nobody's around right now. In fact, it looks a bit abandoned. But there are some meager-looking crops ready to harvest, but animals are starting to get at them. Let's salvage. I don't think we can plant much. Yay, more food! Are we gonna single-handedly stop the famine? I wonder. We've gotten 2 food moodlets. I don't think that's gonna help much yet. You pull up a handful of wrinkly tubers. They're probably supposed to be potatoes eventually, or maybe yams. It's hard to tell. You dig around a little longer, but it's all pretty picked over. Okay. Another egg? Another egg! Oh my goodness. Oh hey, this is over here. Another egg. Does Dis like eggs? The second sun is beginning to set, and you're planning your route back to the gates when you spot Dis in the distance. He waves you over. Hi, Solane, he says gloomily. He sighs. I wish we didn't have to go home. I wish we could stay out here forever. Yeah, me too. What if, he begins, what if we didn't go home? Today, I mean. What if we stayed out and camped overnight? He gestures to the pack on his back. I brought a tent, just in case, and a perimeter sensor, and I found a spot right near the depot that looks safe. Yes, camp out, camp out. This sets up the tent while you place the perimeter post around the edge of the clearing. If anything trips this invisible wall around your campsite, at least you'll know about it. Yes, we're very brave. Without even saying goodnight, Dis crawls into the tent, takes off his jacket, and stuffs it behind his head, then curls up in a ball facing the wall. He falls asleep almost immediately. You crawl in beside him and pull a thermal blanket over yourself. You're exhausted from a long day of hiking in the jungle, so despite the excitement of being out in the wild at night, you quickly fall asleep as well. You both wake to a blaring alarm and bright lights filling the campsite. It's the perimeter alert. Something must have triggered it. Dis sits bolt upright and looks at you with wide eyes. Should you go out there to check? Yes. I mean, not like we have a choice. Hold on, let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, we don't really get bonuses for flushes or anything anymore. So we can try for a straight. That's pretty good. And then 2 3s and a 2 and 2 more 2s. How about that? Not quite the best score, but okay. Yay, you both carefully open the door and peek out through a crack. Nothing. Whatever it was, the lights and noise must have scared it off. Ayy! We're super friends. The sun is almost up, and you're definitely not getting back to sleep after that. So the two of you eat soy rations and quietly watch the sun rise over the jungle together. When the surveyors open the gates and start prepping for the day, you pack up your gear and go home. You expect the worst, but nobody even noticed you were gone. You left the privacy curtain on your bed closed, and your parents must have come in late and left early, thinking you were asleep in there the whole time. You're lucky, but it also makes you feel a little sad. I guess the yellow events always end the month. Hey, Dis, do you like eggs? I feel like everyone... 2 people already like Xeno eggs, so that's why I haven't really given any to him. But we could try it. Yeah, okay. I have not figured out what Dis likes. Maybe they have to be found outside the colony outskirts, like in one of those areas. I could give you an egg. Yeah. Okay. What should we do? I'm almost kind of tempted to go for the socks side quest now. You know? Maybe we should spend some time working on the farm. It's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Oh boy. Good morning, Solane. Looks like you're working for your old lady. I hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my son. She walks you around the geoponics wing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste, and equipment from one place to another. Get comfortable with this, she says, pushing a squeaky old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you. Now, any questions before you start moving that dirt? Don't we have machines for this? The construction crew's already claimed all the hover lifts, she says, shrugging. But they'll break down in a few years anyway, and we don't have the materials to fix them. She grips your forearm. We're planet-side now. Use your muscles. Nature's hydraulic pistons. Where do I move it again? From over there. She points to a dirt pile. To there. She points to an identical pile 10 meters away. She sees your confusion. We had some very precious soil from Earth on the ship, full of all the nutrients and bugs and bacteria our plants need to grow. But it was lost, she sighs, in an accident. Now we have to make more from scratch using vitamin soil. This is part of the process. Why not use hydroponics? On the ship we grew most of our plants with their roots in the water, and it's true it was more hygienic that way, your mom replies. She brushes an insect off her arm, which lets out a squeak of objection. But hydroponic systems use too much energy. Here we have to grow as much as we can the old-fashioned way. Let's get to work. That's my boy, my mom says, slapping you on the back. You stumble a little. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And good somehow. You can feel your muscles growing already. We don't have any physical cards under 2, but... Okay, we definitely want to use this. +1 to physical challenges. Hold on. No, hold on. +1 to this. Sweet. Yeah, best score. We're gonna be so tough. And that gave us 15 stress. Okay. Let's rest. Ooh, bobber fruit. I think we already tried giving that to Dis. Let's rest on the walls. Oh, we can train with Anemone. We just got enough for that. Telling a violent tale. -2 to neighboring social cards. Want to train together? I clicked on her by accident, but if I can get this, then that's good. On your way to the sports ball pitch, Nem shares a story about the time her brother Calm once spiked the ball so hard that he broke Utopia's nose, back when she used to play sports ball too. She describes it in gory detail. But don't go easy on me, she exclaims. That's why we have med beds, right? Plus, I might get a cool scar. She thumbs a blue scaled scar on her jaw, right under her ear. Awesome. Hey. Nem and Nougat are stomping a big mud puddle in the soft ground outside the garrison, passing a sports ball back and forth and chasing each other around. Nem looks up as you approach and excitedly flails mud at you. Solane, hey, she says, jumping up and down. Look it, look! She bounces a sports ball on her knees. Look at what Nougat and me are practicing. Nem bounces the sports ball from one knee to the other a few times before launching it up into the air. She crouches, leaps up after it, and spikes it with her head towards Nougat with a yell. The sports ball thuds into Nougat's chest, sending her sprawling to the dirt. For a second you freeze, waiting for the crying to start. Instead, Nougat shrieks and laughs, clutching the ball as Nem jumps up and down and pumps her fist dramatically. I just noticed that this thing behind Nougat's head is another ribbon, like the one around her waist. I thought there was a plant sprouting out of the top of her head for the longest time. I just accepted people have genetic alterations. She probably has plant head augment or whatever. But no, that's just a ribbon. Holding her hair back, I guess. 4 points for the ball not touching the ground after contact, Nem crows. The crowd goes wild. The Garrison Galaxies win again. Woo! Nougat cups her hands over her mouth, imitating the roar of a crowd. Alright, would Anemone like us to say, that's awesome or I could do better? Okay, she didn't like that. I thought maybe she'd like the competitive spirit. Nem puts her hands on her hips and pouts. Yeah, probably, she scowls, then perks up. You should come by the sports ball pitch sometime so you could show us some of your tricks. Alright, how did that affect things? Okay, we're still 29 with her. Nem and Nougat look at you expectantly. Okay, I will. Yay, great, Nem says, bouncing on her feet. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Sports ball is my favorite thing on the planet. Her eyes go wide. Maybe even in the whole galaxy. Me too, Nougat yells from where she's still lying on the ground. She picks herself up and carefully puts the ball down in front of her, then kicks it to Anemone. Did you see that? Nem laughs. She kicked the ball with her foot. Nougat's a natural. She's already inventing new ways to play sports ball. Future coach Nougat. Nougat puts her hands on her tiny hips. If you come to practice, you gotta play, she challenges, pointing at you. Nemi says I get to be coach, so it's my rules. You and Nem both burst out laughing. Nougat is such a little character. I love the fact that there's like a cute little kid character who might be able to die. I feel if you don't save the children from the faceless, I feel like Nougat might die, but we're not going to let that happen. You relax in the walls again this month. Compared to the hustle and bustle of the colony down below, it's pretty boring up here. You look through some of the independent study modules and catch up on some schoolwork. Hopefully when you go to class again, you'll be a little smarter than before. And if not, at least you'll be a little less stressed. Yay. What do we want to forget? Only 2? Let's see. What do our cards look like? It's +1 to physical challenges, but I don't know. I feel like we could stand to get rid of a 2. Sure. Yeah. Alright. I don't know if we've left the colony during wet at all, so we might want to try that. And then maybe shovel dirt some more. Try and get some socks stuff. Let's sneak on out. Anything different to do since it's a different season? Not in that direction. Here's something. The area is muddy from the recent rain, like real muddy. If you walk further, you're likely to get swallowed by a gruesome puddle of purple muck. Let's walk through it. There's a +5. Pretty good. 4, 4, 2, 2. Alright. Let's see. We'll put this at the end because it's a +6. How about this? Yeah. Not the best score, but okay. Damn, we're almost maxed out in perception. You hop from dry spot to dry spot. Miraculously, you don't fall in. A vanilla 2 card. Okay. I feel like we just got rid of a better 2 card, but okay. There's the thing. A log. Can we go past, or do we need to do this event? Yes. The musk trees are at their tallest and wet, and come across a cluster of them that look ripe for harvesting. If you were older, you could probably cut them down and give some kudos for them. Give them a friendly pat. Okay, that gave us animals for some reason. You give them musk trees. You give one a pat and are surprised when it moves under your hand. It's not a tree though, but a camouflaged creature lying against the trunk. It's small and looks a little like an octopus or a starfish. Lots of long legs wrapped around the tree like it's giving a hug. Okay, ooh, we're getting far out. A nearby pond is dammed up and washed out the path here. The path continues on the other side. Always do the challenges. We can get 3 of a kind. Nice. Let's see, we can do this. Pretty good. So it's still a wild value, but the base value, what it contributes to this, is now 2. Pretty cool. Alright. How are we gonna want to do this? All physical cards under 2 become 2. Okay, we can use that. Or this to make it a 3. Nice. 3 of a kind there. And then we can do this. +1 to this one. Nice. You bravely fall in and get wet. You flounder towards the other side, soaked but victorious. Another log. We are going far this time. Ahead of you, the road curves right, and there's a steep hill leading off to the left. You bet there's a really great view from the top of it, but it's going to be a scramble to get up there. Hike up it. You leave your pack in some bushes. At the base, you'll be lighter on your feet. And then start the trek. It's tiring and even steeper than it looked from the bottom, but some broad mushroom-capped trees provide shade. The view from the top is spectacular. You can see all the way to the colony walls in one direction, and down to a little sawmill in the other. Then you spot it. The rock. The most perfect boulder you've ever seen, teetering right on the edge of the slope you just climbed up. It's almost as tall as you are and must weigh at least 2,000 kilos. But it's practically teetering there. You think with enough muscle you could push it over. Let's do it. There comes a time in every childhood that one must take life by the horns and just push the rock. You shove it with all your might, digging your toes into the hard ground and leaning in. The rock starts to slide. Oh no. And suddenly it's off with a satisfying lurch, catapulting down the hill, rolling faster and faster, crashing through the bushes, and oh damn, your pack, the rock just rolled right over it. Damn. You make your way back down the hill and retrieve your bag, now completely destroyed along with all its contents. Ah, shoot. You're going to have a hard time explaining this one to your parents, and you're going to need a new pack. Okay, I think it's time to go back. We got pretty far, though. And 80. Yeah, it's time to rest, I think. And not shovel dirt. Okay. We can shovel dirt during glow, I guess. Can we give Tammy the cake now? Please be careful out there, Solane. My dad, it's been a year and it's dangerous out there. Please promise me you'll be safe. Do you want a cake? Tammy claps excitedly. Yummy! I'll have to save some for Cal, too, she says. He really, really likes cake. And, well, anything you can eat, really. Cal likes 3 things. Okay. And does Tammy like cake as well? No, she just likes yellow flowers. Cal just likes anything you can eat. Okay. Good to know. Alright, we really don't... How much stress does shoveling dirt give us? $15. Alright, Alright, we're not going to be able to do anything next season if we do something now. And then Glow is going to overload us, so it'll be I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what order we do this in. Either way, Glow is going to max us out on stress, but let's relax on the walls. Most of the time you're alone up here, except for the occasional passing guard. Alright, we read this. And we know that... Alright, this is drawing his super cool goth self-insert. Looking good, bud. This shoots a shy smile. Thanks, he mumbles. I'm not very good at drawing him yet. He is artsy. Hop Eye Facts? No, not that. Wow, we have not a lot of social cards, actually. And let's get rid of Hop Eye Facts. Okay, it's Glow. Can we shovel dirt? Oh, Crystal Cluster. Did we try the Crystal Cluster on Dis? I don't remember. There are only a few glowing plants in the garden, so in the dark of Glow, you have to do a lot of outdoor work by lamplight. In the eerie not light, fertile earth dirt looks the same as Rotumdan dirt. It's so hard to see what you're doing. 1 slot will turn cards physical. Well, this is our lowest value card, so I don't really know if I want to put it down there. Actually... yeah, this will just lower the value of any card to the right of it, so... adding +1 to this, and then having it put +1 on something else, I think is our best bet. Yes! We're very tough. 2 data points form a line, but 3 is a pattern. Yeah. The colony has been high alert all Glow, hoping that the creatures in Beyond the Wall don't return. Unusual animal activity, even the plants seem different. New tracks that must have been left by creatures larger and heavier than you've ever seen. Drilling evacuation plans. You're in engineering when you hear the sirens ring through the colony. You cover your ears against the noise and make your way to a nearby classroom. This is one of the assembly points, so you should be safe there, but it wasn't so safe last year for Professor Hal. What if another creature gets in? You look at Professor Hal and he looks back at you. Last year you saved his life, right here. Hal clears his throat, visibly trying to stay calm. All right, children, he says, subconsciously touching his neck. Just remain seated. I'm certain everything will be fine. You've been told this before. As the sirens continue, you're faced with a choice. Sneak out, bravery, and perception. I mean, last time we stayed put every single time. While Professor Hal is distracted, you crawl out from behind the table. What are you doing? Mars whispers angrily, but you ignore her. You creep along the back of the room, then quickly duck out the classroom door and sprint down the hall before anyone can chase you. You slow to a walk as you hear the outer doors of engineering. Something doesn't feel right. You stop to listen to the dim emergency lighting and hear the metallic popping of something overhead. In the ventilation ducts? Your blood goes cold. Monsters! They're here! You follow the sound to a workshop and force yourself to look up through the slats of the vent. You gasp. 2 glistening, bug-like eyes peer down at you. No, 4. 6? They blink in syncopated pairs. Then you hear it over the sirens. A soft pinging noise, halfway between a chirp and a purr. The creature skitters spider-like from one side of the vent to the other. A small, furry tentacle slithers through the slats, searching for the vent release. When it can't find one, it bangs its body against the inside of the vent, denting the metal. Alright. We can try and tame it. With animals. Alright, this is unchangeable, so no reason to bother putting it there. Let's just put our highest value cards here. Actually, let's save this for when we have more cards with gems. Oh, we have a lot of cards with gems now. Okay. Sweet. One card becomes physical. Let's put this down just for the sake of having it down. Nice. We've already won, so might as well just put this down. Not the best possible score. But... Yes! We got a pet! You win it over by reading its body language and slowly building trust. It seems to want to join you, and you hope you'll be allowed to keep it. Freaky! +1 skill on challenge win, +1 bonus to straights. Pets follow you and may appear in events. Hi, Freaky! You're so cute! With your little mushroom tentacle appendage things. Oh, I love you! I'm so happy we got a pet. You look at the species up on your holopalm and learn that Rikki, so named for the chills they make, which yours is making now, cuddling against your leg, are neither male nor female, though they do require a mate to reproduce. So it's a they then. You decide to name them Rikki, that's just the name of the species. Rikki-Tikki, Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes is cute. Squidly Feederson. Something else probably just means we input it ourselves. I'm not that creative. Rikki-Tikki, the Valiant Mongoose. Yeah, Rikki-Tikki Tavi, that's a story. But I think it's a story of a mongoose fighting snakes or something. So we're naming it after Rikki-Tikki Tavi. Your new pet, Rikki-Tikki, trills happily, popping up in the air excitedly at the prospect of more food. It isn't long before the sirens turn off, ringing 3 short pulses as the all-clear message flashes on your holopalm. You and the other children file out of engineering, and you head back to your quarters. Your parents will want to know that you're safe. You manage to smuggle your new pet Rikki under your jacket and hide it under your bed before they arrive. Your dad gives you a big hug, but your mom slumps into a seat at your small table. It's like they were going specifically for geoponics this time. I'm sure it was just bad luck, Fulu Bell. Awesome. Are you gonna give me a pet tutorial now? Alright. Start age 13. Cool. We gained a lot of friendship with Dis. Wow. Okay. Ah, there they are! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah, we got a pet. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. No need to go for socks anymore. Alright. So how do we, equip it? Only show equipped pets. It's okay. So we need to like equip it to get these buffs, but either way, the pet is following me around. +1 skill on challenge win and +1 bonus to straights. That seems pretty good, right? Alright. Do people want to talk to me? Look, everybody! Look at my friend! Look at them! Ah! Cal! Cal, is this what you want to talk about? My wonderful pet Rikki? You catch Cal at the gate to the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. Hi, Solane, he exclaims. He pauses to pat your pet on the head. And hello to you too, Rikki-Tikki. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you there's a new park near Geoponics. We can run around all we want. Nobody will say we're trampling the fields. And bring Rikki-Tikki, they'll love it. Awesome. Is Tang gonna tell me how dirty and stinky my pet is? That's more of a Mars thing, I think. Okay, acid snow. It stings because it's made of acid. Run away from the acid snow! Tang shakes her head as you scamper under cover and goes back to washing the snow. You spot Dis in the shaded gloom of a nearby awning. When he sees you looking, he furtively hides his hands behind his back. As your eyes adjust, you spot the almost luminescent gaze of a hop eye peering out from under a tarp. I wasn't doing anything, Dis says. The scattering of corn kernels at his feet tells a different story. Okay, I was just worried that the hop eyes were getting used to eating human food, he admits. He kneels down and extends his hand, and the hop eye blinks all 4 eyes at you with mistrust. Tang will kill me if she saw me do this, Dis mutters. She'd probably be like, oh, we should observe what effect our presence has in the local wildlife, you know. This is the effect we're having on them, he continues. Tang doesn't get that you can't watch something without changing it. She thinks she's so smart, but she doesn't think she has a responsibility to do the right thing. Dis looks at the ground. We used to be bros, he says quietly. Now I don't even understand her at all. That's some pointed wording. It must be hard to be an I can't even be mad at him. I think it's an inherently difficult thing to be an identical twin, which is a very unique and specific relationship to have. You want to be happy for your sibling when they transition, but if you're identical twins, I think that carries some extra baggage with it. Look at them! Look at them! At least he's not misgendering her or anything. Respect that. Petting your pet. Pet your pet. How did I pet them? Just by walking through them? Okay. Ah! I'm so happy. Look at this. Look at this. Now I feel like I have really, truly played this game. This is what was missing. Ah! Okay. We're gonna have more fun times with Rikki-Tikki next time. Until then, look at them bounce. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.